Hey, are you tired of eating the same meals over and over and over again? Are you tired and don't understand and maybe struggle with meal prepping and like how much to do and how much to eat and what days should you prep it? Well, these are the questions that have been asked, and I get it. And I want to teach you, not even teach you, I want to show you what I do to add some variety to my meals, how to structure your week in order to find some success in this whole meal prepping journey. But before I start, and before we get into it, I want you to drop a chicken emoji. Find that chicken emoji and drop that in the comments, and then we will get started. Let's talk about it. So that's the question we have today. My name is Coach Pete. This is the Crank Vegas podcast, episode number 2. Welcome to the podcast. We'll all come out every Thursday, hopefully live every single time, because I like going live. I like the raw and uncut version of YouTube and the raw uncut version of Instagram and all the other fun stuff that we have. So I've been, just a real quick story. I'm not quick story, just an intro. I've been on YouTube for 16 years now, since 2000 and something. I don't know. YouTube told me happy 16th anniversary, helping people finding their ways to find working out into their lives. That really didn't make sense. Helping people find ways to become more active, to start working out more, to start eating better, and to obviously see the results that they dream of and or strive for. And that's what we're here today. And this is a question from our member group and our school group. We have a school group as well, beginner home workouts. And these were the questions that were asked, right? The questions that they asked was, let me get back to it really quick, was how do I not, for the most part, how do I stop eating the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? What are some strategies that you can do to change that? Now, for me, I see it's harder and at the same time easier for me to do this because I do have a little skewed relationship with food because I was a bodybuilder. I have done natural bodybuilding for many years. I've competed on stage. I've traveled the world competing, and for me, just being able to eat chicken and broccoli was fairly simple. Right, but that's not the normal person. That's not the person that's sitting at the desk right now, or you listening to the podcast. It is not really it's not normal for you, correct? And if you feel like I am correct in that point, definitely give me a little heart thumbs up on that one, because it is not that easy. Now, if you talk to someone that has maybe cut weight before, someone that has competed before, someone that has gotten ready for something really um, I don't want to say, I don't know, competed, I guess. Did I say that? Like, just got on stage and had to look their best. They'll get it, right? But like I said, for the person that doesn't or has not or doesn't even have that aspiration to do so, it's a lot harder to accept these little things. So the one tip that I do for sure is I add variety of sauces and seasonings. Now, it sounds so simple and stupid, but it really does work. Now, for me, it's harder because I also have nightshade. Right? If you guys don't know what nightshade is, I can't eat a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things in this world that I'm not allowed to eat because it's going to destroy me. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to break out. I'm going to have stomach pain. I may get inflammation. I'm going to get arthritis. It's not worth it for me. But for someone who doesn't have that, finding different spices, marinades, sauces, mixing up the meat that you're using. Obviously, it's chicken breast, and everyone gets sick of chicken breast. But the question is why? I'll tell you in a second why chicken breast all the time. But adding that variety of sauces and flavors, here it goes. God bless me. That's right. I said it to myself since maybe no one's here. It helps change that satiating feeling, because not even satiating feeling, you just get used to it, right? Over and over and over again. And it may be your favorite. You ever have like here's a perfect one, right? You go out and you always have this favorite thing every single time. You eat it over and over. I love this thing, and over, and it's 14 days in, and you don't want to see it ever again, right? It just kind of makes you sick because your body got used to that feeling. There's no variety there, right? There's no change in flavor. There was no synapses in the brain that made the brain go, "Ooh, this is delicious." So finding those different whatever it doesn't really matter. Find out what you like. I can't suggest, and sometimes it doesn't do with cooking. It just has to do with how you do it. Like, and for me, also, I this just came out of nowhere. Like off my list is the cooking preparation. Right. Sometimes I'll bake it because it does keep the tenderness inside the chicken breast or in the meat. But sometimes I'll even pan fry it. And when I pan fry it, I'm not putting a lot of oil. I'm maybe a half a tablespoon of oil, and I'll kind of, brush it onto the pan to make sure, or even use a spray and then cook it a little bit on a lower heat. So it just gives enough of that not char, right? Char's on a grill. That pan seared flavoring to it. And I'll make like a cutlet, and it's fucking delicious because it's still tender, it's still moist, it still tastes good. And it's just another way to prepare something to change the way you normally do. Because in batch cooking, which is what we're going to do for meal prepping, which is the next question, right? Is that meal prepping and batch cooking, the meats get dry, right? It gets cold, it gets tiring. But at least if it's a little tender, it's a lot easier to eat over and over and over again. Right, but I do like the air fryer, but if you use an air fryer, it's dehydrating the meat, right? Unless you have something that's a little bit more fatty, like maybe a drumstick or a thigh or even like a piece of steak, it's gonna stay in there better, right? Because it's gonna use its own fats to cook. Whereas if you have like a sirloin or a flank steak or chicken breast, it's good for that day, right? It keeps that tenderness, but then after a while, if you leave it too long, it does tend to dry it out. And I'm dehydrating. I'm gonna use dehydrating not session setting on the air fryer because I'm going to put some Angus beef and make some beef jerky. I can't have beef jerky and buy it because there's just too many chili pepper ones and too many spices inside it. Whereas I only can have a few, so I'm making my own. Right, with my aminos, with my liquid aminos, some brown sugar, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. That's it. Right, put a little vinegar or lemon, and it's marinating now. I'm making a video on that, so I made like the first part, so I don't have to cook it, and I'm going to put it in the air fryer as a snack, right? As a protein snack. Again, I am drifting off to another planet on this, so I do apologize, as I always do move into different directions. We are talking about, where was I? We were talking about chicken breast and marinades, and I have boogers. Welcome to Pete's Booger Podcast. Oh, well, that's what happens when the sun comes out. Uh, marinades. I'm gonna say it over and over again. Marinades, sauces, seasonings. Use different ones every single time. And another one I said was roasting it, air frying it, pan searing it. Those are different ways you can prepare the meat. Now, with that said, for me, I will batch cook it. And this is going to the cooking process and batch what I need. Right. This is a necessity now. But when I want something different, I'll make something fresh. And usually at dinner time, I'm making something fresh. So I'm going to breakfast and whatever is there, I'm going to eat. And then at nighttime is probably the only time I'm going to cook something fresh because I want that tenderness. I want something different, follow a recipe of a different way. And inside our group, we have our meal app, where it's inside the app has like meal selection. So if I don't like that recipe, you can always click it and then change the recipe with the same macros inside it. It's really, really pretty cool. What was another one that I do to kind of make it easier to I already know the answer to to digest, right? And that's called acceptance. Accepting the fact that this is not supposed to be fun, right? It's not. It's not. But the thing is, like, I want you to think about before you went onto your diet or before you went onto your meal plan. What did your menu look like before? It was probably the same thing every single day, right? You probably had the same breakfast, most likely every day. You probably had the same lunch every day. And then dinner, you probably had the same five recipes that you have cooked for the past couple years. So what's the difference now? The difference now, it's become a task, right? It's become a burden. It's become something that you don't want to do out of your will, right? Because it's difficult as it should be. Thank you, email. When we're in a diet phase, it's completely 100% mental. When you're in a deficit, it's mental. Right here at home, Natalie's a little mental right now. Dad, I'm a little mental right now because we're all in our deficits. If you don't know what a deficit is, put a question mark in the emoji and we'll make videos talk about more about deficits and when you should be getting to them. Do you belong in one? Is it your time to be in a deficit? But deficits suck. But this is the most crucial part of a diet. This is the most crucial part of any transformation process. Because sure, you can eat right. Sure, you can exercise all day long. But it doesn't matter if your nutrition is off point. And if you are on that deficit part, it's not fun because it is almost the same thing every day. Maybe even a little bit more limited or more food than you normally do. But the only hardest part is that you have to think about it now. Back in 2 months ago, right, into November, December, you were eating the same fucking meal, except maybe you weren't weighing it, right? You were eating 3 eggs, 2 scoops or to half a cup of egg whites in an omelet, but you didn't have to log it in. Right, at dinner, you just sat down, had some meat with some pasta and some veggies, maybe if you're lucky enough. Except maybe you just didn't get to have that glass of wine you had with it. And now you're thinking about how hard it is. And the more we think about it and the more we make it a thing, the harder it's going to be. Rather than just saying, fuck it, I'm going to keep going because I believe that the outcome of this hard work is going to benefit me. This is going to be worth it. And that's the positive self-talk that you need to have when it comes to any diet, any workout, any transformation inside you, I mean, that you're going through. Because yeah, I want to have a cup of coffee, right? But I don't want to have to measure like how much creamer is going inside, but I do. And if you don't know, a tablespoon of creamer is not that much and doesn't make it that fucking creamy. So I'd rather just drink it black. Fuck it, right? You pick and choose. I'd rather have nothing than 50 extra calories. Sure, it tastes good, coffee mate, but there's time and place for it. I don't want to add that extra. Why do I have to do this right now? Because that's part of it. Like, I don't want to fucking put chicken on a scale, like, have to press 0 1,000 times, and my scale sucks, by the way. I'm sorry, scale, I don't mean to talk shit about you, but I do because it doesn't 0 half the time, so I'm pressing it with dirty oil fingers. I got chicken oil all over pressing it, trying to 0 it out so I could fucking guess how much meat I have because I only have 8 ounces left. But see what I mean? Like, even when I talk about it, it becomes personal because I understand how difficult it is to be there. I don't just talk it, I live it, guys. I don't sit here and tell you what to do, and I don't do it myself and follow through with it because there's thousands of coaches out there that do that. Right? I'm not one of those guys. If you're battling, I'm battling. Right? If you're gonna fight, I'm gonna fight with you. That's a fucking team. That's a family. That's the way we grew up. That's Bell Street. Right? If you're going this way, I got your back. But if you're going to contest me, well, then now we're fighting again. But the reason it always works is because we do have that community. We do have that structure. We do have each other's backs when shit gets tough. And the mindset is the one thing that I think you can. If there was any answer to any of these questions that are coming up, mindset is it. Because that's like a small fragment of what's really happening. What's really happening is you're getting to the verge of wanting to quit. You're getting to the verge of that this is too hard. You're getting to the verge of that this is boring. Well, it is boring. If you ask a wrestler or an Olympic lifter that's getting ready for the Olympics, they're practicing their singles, they're practicing their snatches, they're practicing their doubles, they're practicing their clean and jerks over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because they want to win the Olympics. They want to achieve something that they set their mind to. And what that takes is very mundane repetition or repetitive practice. And that's what we are doing here in the kitchen. That's what we are doing when we're eating our meals, is that we have to just sit down and say, yeah, this is not that fun, but at least I'm eating something. But I do know at the end that this is going to be worth it. Why? Because I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging my willpower. I'm challenging my strength. I'm challenging my mindset every single time it's time to eat, or it's time to work out, or it's time to go for my walk. It's not going to be easy, and that even falls into the next question. That was very Asian of me. Hey, question. The next question is fixing the meal timing. Fixing how much is what was the question? I have trouble meal prepping and okay. So not knowing really how to meal prep, how much to meal prep, how many times. What I like to do is for batch cooking, we'll do it usually on a Sunday, but I'll batch cook for 2 days. So usually Sunday and then Wednesday and then Saturday is kind of like, just make sure we have some food available and kind of see where it goes because, it's Saturday and it's the weekend and, we do stuff and trying to plan around that day. But hopefully having something around enough for that. So batch cooking, we will cook from Sunday for we're preparing for maybe Sunday night, but usually Sunday, cooking from Monday and Tuesday, maybe creeping into Wednesday if there's some left over. But that's it. Like, I don't wanna batch cook the whole week because by the time it gets to Wednesday, I don't want that shit no more. Like, I don't yeah, you look at it, and if I could give it to the dogs, I will. Like, that's how bad I don't want it. Will I ever waste it? No. Will I blend it? Most likely. I'll just put it in some fucking water, and I'll blend it, and I'll juice it. Like, I get to the point, guys, where I will just drink eggs because I don't wanna cook them anymore. So I get it. I understand where you're coming from. It's sometimes very monotonous and a lot of work. And I don't want to go back into that. We're talking about the portion sizes and making sure we get into it. So I follow a 2-day meal plan, right? A 2-day meal prep plan. I prep twice a week, Sundays and Wednesdays, instead of all at once. It just keeps it fresher. It keeps it moving. And I use a lot of convenience foods. So convenience foods equals tuna cans, salmon's in a bag. Oh, it's not fun. It's not nice, but it's fucking there. But that does also add a little variety to my week. So instead of having like chicken, 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 fucking chicken, 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 I'll have tuna, chicken, 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 eggs, chicken, 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 lean beef, chicken, chicken. They have canned chicken. You can try that too. And nothing's wrong with mayo. If you like, I started eating mayo, I think last year. I haven't eaten mayo ever in my entire life because I always thought mayo was bad for you. I always thought mayo was disgusting. And then once I had nightshade and I couldn't do anything and I couldn't have it, anything, any sauces or hot sauce or chili or peppers or tomatoes or anything like that anymore, mayo, if as long as I make it myself or find a variation I'm allowed to have, I put that shit. I have tuna sandwich, not sandwiches, but tuna and chips all the time. I like dipping my tuna with some tostito chips. So depending again on the macros is where the variety comes from as well. Understanding how to use macros correctly is also makes it fun, right? Because if you have macros but you don't know what to do with it and you only think of like I only know one carb, well then that's not that fun, right? Because there's no carb that's really bad. Everyone says, "Oh, pasta is bad for you, bread is bad for you." No, it's not. It's just dense. It's not bad for you unless you're gluten intolerant. You tell me if it's bad for you. Thousands of people eat pasta every day. They're still fucking healthy. But we put a label onto these foods as they are a diet food. It's not a diet food. It's fuel. It's a chemical. It's X's and O's or ones and zeros actually. That's what I believe like in the Matrix where it's like 1 0 1 0 1. That's all it is. And it goes into your body, use it as fuel, and then it's over with. Or it goes into your body and it protects your organs, then it's over. Or it goes into your body, breaks down, builds up amino acids, builds muscle, and then it's over. That's all it does. And you piss and shit it out. I don't know where it was. Oh, convenience food. So I do that. And also I get salads in a bag. Again, like, as long as there's salads that I can have, which is very difficult on my part, kind of sucks. But salads in a bag is one that I have because sometimes I'll buy romaine, and we all know that we see romaine and we see it and it looks so cute being all wet and sprayed on, look like 1,000 people spit on it. I hate when they do that. When the things, I know it's cool to make it, has to keep it hydrated, but when like you have like a wet fucking, here's a wet head of lettuce. Put this in a bag. Thanks, I appreciate it. The outside's all dirty. Not really that appetizing. So you get the one with like three, right? It has like three heads in one bag. And you go, I'm gonna eat a salad every day. I'm gonna finish that bag. You get to the first one, chomp, 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 and this is good, delicious. Second one, you cut in half. Like, oh, I'll just eat half of this, eat the rest of it later. And then it's Friday. that head of lettuce does not look good at all. So what do? Fucking feed it to the rabbits outside at Nutley. That's what you fucking do. give them give them the the romaine lettuce. But that's why I like the salads in a bag, right? It's fun. Also has variety, so it has like the done for you. I'm not just like here's a salad. I'm like the kits. Like the kits are fun. I cannot have the kits, right? But I watched Natalie, my wife, have the kits, and it's funner. But again, you still have to monitor the calories that are going in through the dressing, which is usually not that much. So you could get the bag, you take the lettuce and arugula, whatever it's mixed up with, which is really cool. And then it has like these little packets on the side with like, if you get a Mediterranean one, they have like feta cheese, they have like little crouton, like tortilla strips on them. Maybe that's a Mexican one. That's kind of racist. And then they'll have like the dressing, like a big packet of dressing. And sometimes I'll save that packet of dressing and like you could weigh it, or you put 1 tablespoon, boop, 2 tablespoons, boop, and that's like another 100 calories. It's not that much. Actually, probably like 60, depending on the one you have. Then when you eat it, it's better, right? It's just something that was kind of done for you. And there's a study that came out. I think it was from whatever college, Felician. Felician's like Felician College. That's the college, like the two colleges I got accepted to. I don't know, some college that sandwiches taste better when someone else makes it for you. Think about that. It's a very, very intriguing statistic because I believe it. And I tell Nat all the time. I was like, my food that I make tastes like shit. So you know what you do? You have someone else make it for you. When someone else makes you and prepares the food for you, it tastes so much better. You know why? You didn't desensitize. That's why, like, you see people that they're chefs, like, oh man, if I was a chef, I would be fat. Oh, if I was a chef, I'd do that. And some are because they just habit-wise and they work many hours and they're stressed out and they don't sleep. And yes, they drink and then yeah, of course, they're probably going to be a little bit fatter, but there's some that are not. Right, but when they cook, they're not really like, "Ooh, I'm gonna eat this now. This is something that I wanna have." No, it's because they're desensitized to the food. It could be the Michelin, five-star Michelin, whatever, however you say that word, Michelin restaurant, and it came in a little plate, and it's like 2 ounces of a leg of lamb. It has a little small, like, little bone, and then it's, like, seared, and it's, like, red, and then they got green drizzle on, and it looks delicious. Right? Even though it's probably 5 calories, but you paid $500 for it. They don't want to eat that shit because they're desensitized to it. Just like when you cook and you batch cook, you already know what it smells like. You know what it feels like. You know what it's going to taste like. So you don't want it. Imagine if you sat on the couch and you gave someone ingredients. That's why these fucking celebrities have six-pack abs. They need it because they have their chefs making it for them. Right? They're chefs making it for them. Shadon Sanders, I think I was the new draft prospect. He's going to go like maybe to the Raiders or something like that. I don't know. He's quarterback. He'll be probably the top second quarterback that might be picked up in the draft. He was talking on ESPN on the Super Bowl thing, and he was saying like, "Oh, I eat well." Like, "Oh, how you do it? How you gaining weight?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just eat whatever my chef makes me." No shit. Imagine that, 18 years old, 19, 20, whatever you are. My chef, I eat whatever my chefs make me, while else everyone else on his team is fucking eating from the food trucks, um, eating tuna fish out of the bag, eating going to the cafeteria. And they're trying to keep their weight up. He's got his own chef. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, make someone else cook for you. And this could even go back to like the monotony of things. When someone else makes it, it just tastes different. Right. And that's real. That's a real stat. That's a real scientific study. Like it's hand down real that someone else doing it for you just tastes better. And it really does. Different ways to keep balanced ready options. That's it. Did that overnight. Oh, I don't like overnight oats. Fuck that shit. If you like overnight oats, give me a thumbs down. Because I don't like overnight oats. I think they're fucking gross. I would rather just have oatmeal from the microwave and then put protein powder inside it. But this whole overnight oats thing is overrated. First off, it takes too long to fucking get it done. You gotta do it overnight. Who the fuck wants it overnight? Who wants to wait for that? That's like cooking a turkey. I want a turkey. All right, well, guess we got to start tomorrow. Guess we should have started yesterday to have some turkey. Oh, you want some overnight oats? Oh, too late. You got to wait till tomorrow to eat some oats. I don't know. And I can just have it in 1 minute, instant and thing. Oh, I eat. Okay, here's another one that I have. Hopefully these are answering your questions because obviously my brain. I tried to do a podcast yesterday, even live, and I replaced it with this one because I couldn't go with it at all. The one thing I do, or even we do, I always say we do because we are doing it, is we save a lot of our carbs and protein for a dessert or like a treat. And not that we like desserts, but again, it's something that is different than the normal meals that you have. And it's really just Greek yogurt, right? For me, having a cup or a serving, now, if you measure a serving of Greek yogurt, it's a lot, right? I put 200 grams of Greek yogurt gives me like 19 grams of protein, right? It's a little, no fat, a little bit of carbs, but that's okay because I saved it anyway. Because instead of eating it at breakfast, I just had protein for breakfast. Then at nighttime, I save a lot of my carby stuff for pre workout or post workout, a little bit for dinner, and then at nighttime. I just do that because I like having it at night because it helps this brain and it also helps me go to sleep. Because a lot of times, if I don't eat carbohydrates, they only have protein at nighttime, which most people do. They carb up throughout the day because it's more convenient for them, right? Because they don't want to eat protein in the morning. So I'm tired of eating omelets. I'm tired. Good. Well, that's a sacrifice because then you have to. We'll do that with. Well, Natalie will put granola, a measured portion of granola inside. She really saves all her carbs for her little parfait. I'll put like dried fruits like cranberries. Then I'll put fresh fruits like blueberries and strawberries. And I like adding my own preserves. I make my own preserves. So like whenever food's going really bad, like say you buy a whole shitload of berries or yeah, berries. It's the only way. It's the only thing I make it out of. And you just get like a shitty batch. Like right now, we got a shitty batch of blueberries. Two big ones, 8 ounces, right? And I ate it and just felt like it like blew up my mouth. It was like mush. So now I'm just gonna cook them down, add a little bit of sugar to it, and then make my own jam. That's literally what I do. It's not that hard. Squish it down, squish, squish, squish. Then I add it and make my own jam. Now I control the amount of sugar that's inside. Of course, I'll have to do your own numbers based off that, but it's not as dense as the regular one. But sometimes I'll take regular preserves and then drop it in and I'll squish it up. Now, if you like chocolate, you could add chocolate to it. As long as it's within your numbers and your macros, you can eat it. That's why when people say, I can't eat that much, I can't eat it. No, you can because you're only limiting yourself to the amount of macros that is healthy, right? And then you don't factor in the treats that you like, the things that you want, the things that might change it up for you. But if you add it beforehand rather than adding it, day to day, add the dessert first. Like, bitch, I'm eating this for dinner. Like, I want to have it. Like, I'll make chicken franchise, right? I make chicken franchise, so it's chicken breast. I just don't put flour into it. I coat it with eggs. If you want, mommy's watching, you want to do a live video of me cooking, give me a thumbs up. I'll fucking make a video. I love cooking it. And then I'll do it and I'll pan fry it, let it simmer, let it cook or let it brown. Then once it's done, I put a little bit of butter. Like I'll measure a tablespoon of butter, enough to kind of just mess with the garlic. Fucking like 17 cloves of garlic, so no one likes you the next day. Well, no, about 4. Chop, 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 chop. Let once it's done, white wine. Let it cook down. Squeeze a motherfucking lemon on it. Add a little bit more chicken stock or chicken bone broth, if that's what you like. To like a little more saucier. Boom. Slice a lemon, slap it, throw some parsley on it. It's nothing more than what you normally would eat, except it just took a little bit more effort to cook. No more fat than the normal baked chicken. No more nothing, right? White wine's got nothing in it, barely, right? If you measure out the tablespoon of butter for the whole meal, you're only taking in about not even a quarter of a tablespoon. And it's delicious and it's different and it's changed up. But the thing is now, we like it so much that we'll keep doing it over and over and over and over again, and we'll get sick of it because there's no variety there. Where was I? What was I even talking about? I was talking about something, and then it went to that. I was going into something, and then I went into that. That's how I talk. Oh, I was talking about things that you want, right? And just getting it into your numbers before you even start. So maybe that could be the tips for you guys, right? So let's just sum it down really fast. What can you do? Number one, add some seasonings, different sauces, or even marinades to your meats, to your proteins, right? Make them taste different, make them have a different profile. That's one thing that can definitely change up the monotony. Number two is the style of cooking. Are you roasting it? Are you baking it? Are you air frying it? Are you pan searing it? Right? Changing the way you cook things makes the meat taste different, adds different flavors to it, different things chemically. Chemically, it releases different. I don't know what it does. You tell me. So just ask a food person about that. I kind of am too, though. But it just, I don't know the words. Anyway, cook it differently. Tastes different. Sometimes burn it. Sometimes a burnt taste seems good. You could grill it too, but be careful when you grill it. You know why? Because you can easily dry it out super fast. Then it tastes like fucking jerky, and then you got to give it to the dogs as long as it doesn't have a lot of onions inside it. Number two, that was it. Number three is, I forget what it was. Change it up. Oh wait, we talked about mindset, right? Making sure you know that this is gonna suck and accepting the fact that this is a tough part of dieting is the deficit, is the restructuring. Because if you think about what you did in the past, it was probably the same 5 meals rotated over and over and over again, except you just didn't have to think about it. But now you have to think so much about it that it becomes a daunting task. And now it sucks and it's boring. But I'm sorry, it's going to be boring. But you know what's better than boring? Results. You know what's better than boring? Results. That's how you got to look at it. Number three, get salad, like convenience food, right? If you can have beef jerky, good for you. Or any type of those meat jerky, it's a great snack. Oh, but the sodium levels is so high. And then but bitch, you fucking drink bourbon. You fucking drink tequila. You drink beer. You go and snack on snacks that you've never looked at the ingredients in your entire life. We chew gum. We take cough drops. We use our phone. That's radiation. We watch TV. I keep going with all the bad shit that can happen in our life. That beef jerky is not going to be the one thing that's going to fucking kill you. And if it does, I'm sorry. But it's not. Unless you have, I don't even know, high blood pressure. Well, then you got to take care of high blood pressure. Obviously, you know that those are the things you should not have. But if you have no history of medical health issues, beef jerky is not going to fucking bother you. We just make it something, because the same thing with diet soda. Diet soda, you did this, and then on a Friday, can I get a Jack and Diet? What's it? You were just talking about diet soda, but now you got a Jack and Diet. Can I get a Jameson and ginger? But what? You're complaining about all these things that are going to kill you, but we're ordering things at the bar. It doesn't make sense to me. And trust me, I drink alcohol. I get it. That's why I don't judge either one or the other. I just know what's going to benefit me in my journey to be successful. Number whatever. But we're talking about convenience foods. Number 18,056. Salads in a bag, right? Getting those things, a little bit of variety there because it's those kits. It makes a Mediterranean, it makes a Cobb salad, it makes a Santa Fe. You get all these different, usually you get them on sale too. Sometimes like two for $3.99. $7.99, it's not bad. And it's not going to go bad because you're going to use it all within the next 2 days. And it's not withered and wilted away like that shitty romaine that we talked about before. And number 5 is putting in the meal that you want. Yeah, I said number 5 like I knew what it was. Number 5 is putting the meal that you want before you even start the day. And the best day to do this is a day like today, a Thursday. Thursday I call is like the line, right? It's a line in the sand is Thursday because we finished all the first day of cooking. We made the second batch and now I don't want to eat it. So fuck this because tomorrow's Friday where everyone's going to go out and I can't be bored. I can't be bored. My life, I can't. You got to find something else to do or accept the fact that things are going to be different. And I made a post in my group. I'm not going to do it inside here. If you want to be part of the group, you let me know because I'm not going to give you more information that you need to know because they are the special ones. That's a super crew and they are the best. And I'll give more information to them than anyone else out there in this world because I fucking love them. I love them so much because they believe in me. They believe in what I'm doing. And at the same time, they believe in themselves. Super crew is fucking awesome. So if you want that tip, you gotta message me. That's all I'm saying. But in order to make this thing real, you got to change this. It doesn't matter what tip I give you. It doesn't matter what recipe you have. It doesn't matter how many fucking marinades or sauces you're about to buy. You got to change the way you're looking at it. And when you're having trouble, reach out to a friend to talk you off. Why? It's because you're coping as well. You're in, and I don't want to compare it to AA, but like you're in the same fucking group because you are addicted to the things that you used to do. You're addicted to the things that make you feel good. And you feel like you need that all the time. Whereas sometimes you need someone to tell you that it's okay. We ain't gonna do that shit and we're gonna do this together. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Faiz. Faiz, if your name is Faiz, thank you. Thank you guys for coming out to I keep on saying Jersey to Vegas, to the Crank Las Vegas podcast, episode number 2. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you guys later. Again, if you have any questions or anything, just comment down below and I'll be sure to reach out. Till next time, this is Coach Pete. I have a great, happy Thursday and I'll see you next week.